here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. Yes, I'm your host, Todd Huff. You can email me your questions, your thoughts, your adoration and praise, todd@toddhuffshow.com. Facebook is where we're streaming. YouTube, Twitter/Periscope. And, of course, you can catch the program streaming live on our website as well. Good to be here. Hope you had a good weekend. Here we are 1 week away, my friends. 1 week away. Well, 1 week and a day from Election Day. This is the last week, the last full week before things get completely crazy. And you can begin to see some adjustments being made by the media, by the left, in the way that they're talking about this. In fact, last night, let me get this here. The New York Times, last night at 7 p.m., I noted this because we talked about this morning. But, you know, the New York Times, the media in general, and yes, I want to get to Trump and 60 Minutes and Kamala Harris and all this sort of stuff as well. But I want to start with just the way that things are beginning to adjust in the media. New York Times headline of an article I got last night. You can see this on the New York Times website as well. It's on politics, is the particular section of the paper. The election may hinge on Pennsylvania. Can the polls get the state right? Now, pause for a moment. What has the media been telling us for the past, I don't know, many months? The past many months, has the media not been telling us that Joe Biden was winning this thing hands down, that Joe Biden was up by as many as 14 points? Remember this? Of course you remember this because this is how they've talked about this. But the media, now that they're a week away from Election Day, is beginning to realize we better at least start reporting on this in a way that doesn't totally blow away our credibility. Now, you and I already know the media should have absolutely no credibility whatsoever. And it's amazing to me how they have tricked people into believing that this is like a horse race. The vast majority of people, folks, have known who they are going to be voting for since, I've known who I'm voting for since 2016. That's how long I've known who I'm voting for in this election. Most people who are casting their votes, whether they have in the past few weeks, by the way, you see 58 million people have been said to have voted already. 58 million. Folks, in 2016, I think, what was the total vote count? We're approaching half of the total votes cast already now at this point that were cast in 2016, roughly 130 million or so. Votes cast then. Now, so here we are at 58 million, I think is the number they're saying now. But so a lot of folks have already known a lot of folks, A, have voted, B, they've known who they are going to be voting for some time. This idea that we have a lot of undecided voters out there, which again, how can you be undecided? I'm not saying that there's not any undecided voters, but I'm saying how can you truly be undecided given what's really on this ticket? Folks, this is a stark contrast in worldviews, a stark contrast in ideologies. One is pro-American, one is pro-Constitution, one is pro-liberty, one is pro-limited government, one is pro-the American citizen, one is pro-keep what you earn, one is pro-capitalist, the other is pro-socialist. The other is pro-big government. The other is pro-do as we say, or we will force you to do what we want you to do, because government always has the best answer, the right answer, what's best for you, what's best for all Americans, and we will do that by force because, folks, by definition, government is force. That is what it is. And that contrast, again, is between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the lovers of big government, those who want to change America as founded, those who want to basically lead a revolution. Now, the media doesn't press much on this. They want you to see Joe as a smiling, old, grandfatherly figure that's just, that has these little faux pas and gaffes from time to time. And it's kind of cute, nice, likable guy. Kamala Harris, they don't dig into her, what she really believes. They just want you to know that she would be the first black and female vice president should they be elected. And it's, talked about in this almost fairy tale sense. We don't get into their ideas. We don't get into the ugliness. Folks, the downright ugliness of some of these things coming from the corruption surrounding Biden, the corruption and just really nasty attitude and so forth of Kamala Harris. We don't get into that. In fact, we get fixated instead on Trump's tweets and all this sort of crazy rhetoric we find ourselves getting into as we move ever so closely to this election. But there's not a lot of undecided voters. But the way the media has portrayed this since the beginning is that Trump is going to get walloped and thumped, and Trump has even less of a chance. I'm telling you, they've talked about this in such a way that makes us believe that Trump has next to no chance of winning this election. In fact, if you look at they're telling you, if you go to some of these sites where you can make your own election map, you can make your own predictions. When they start the map for you, it starts off with 290 electoral votes for Biden. Biden only needs 270. They want you to believe that Biden has already locked up 290. So why this headline in the New York Times? Why this headline that says the election may hinge on Pennsylvania? Folks, Pennsylvania is worth 20 electoral votes. They have Biden at 290. If I take away 20 from 290, I still am left with 270. That means Biden wins. But besides that, you've given it to Biden. You've not included Pennsylvania in a toss-up state here. You've given it to Biden. Some of these maps show Arizona definitely going to Biden. Some of these maps show Texas definitely going to Biden. Some of these maps show Georgia definitely going to Biden. Some of these maps show Florida definitely going to Biden. Pennsylvania, Michigan. The states that they put up as toss-ups are states that Trump is probably going to win, in my estimation anyway. But regardless, why? Why now suddenly change? Why suddenly change your perspective, your argument, what you're talking about, just how much the election hinges upon the state of Pennsylvania? This is what it says. I'm not going to read much of this. I just want you to hear this because it's drastically different than what we've been hearing in the media here as we get closer. In fact, something else to look out for polls that come out this week. Don't expect to see any more 14-point Biden leads. In fact, remember last week, or maybe the week before, Biden's campaign manager came out and said, we're not up 14 points. Said it on some conference call with supporters or some such thing. Don't buy the lie that we're up 14 points. Of course it's a lie. That's fabricated, nonsensical, just crazy stuff. He's not up 14 points. But going back to this article here, it says this: if President Trump pulls off a come-from-behind victory, again, acting like this is a horse race, on November 3rd, it's likely to run through Pennsylvania, one of the three Midwestern states he won by less than 1 percentage point in 2016, and arguably the one that's still within range for him. Didn't know that. I call it Rust Belt. I didn't know that Pennsylvania is Midwestern. Anyway, Joseph R. Biden Jr., the Democratic nominee, has built a polling lead in Pennsylvania that is now considerably stronger than Hillary Clinton's was on the eve of the election 4 years ago. You better look at depends on which poll you're looking at, my friend. This, by the way, written by Giovanni Russinello, I think. My apologies if I don't pronounce that right. But regardless here, considerably stronger, they say, than Hillary Clinton's lead was on the eve of the election 4 years ago. But the president's weakness is driving the race more than Mr. Biden's strength, Mr. Biden has only recently achieved a positive overall favorability rating among voters in Pennsylvania, according to various surveys. High quality polls. Let's remember this. Folks, mark this stuff down. And I'm not predicting, again, I think predicting this stuff is a bit of a fool's game with how some people decide to cast their ballots. But that being said, I still think that the maps here are lining up favorably for President Donald Trump. I like his position. I like how these states are playing it. Folks, if he wins Florida, North Carolina, and Arizona, which by winning them basically means holding on to them from 2016, if he wins those states, he only has to win Minnesota or Wisconsin or Michigan or Pennsylvania or Nevada plus New Hampshire, which all of these things are doable. Biden has to run the table at that point. So anyway, these high-quality polls that they're citing now, remember what they told us. I think if Trump turns out to win this thing, especially if Trump has over, say, 300 electoral votes, which is possible. I'm not saying likely, probable, anything like that. I'm just saying it's possible. I think right now the most likely outcome is that he'll be in the high 270s, maybe the low 280s. And you only need 270 to win. But there certainly are scenarios where he could be into the 300s, even into the the low to mid 300 range if everything falls into his favor. There's also scenarios where Biden can pull this out, certainly. But the point is just remember what they've been telling us. They've told us that Biden is up anywhere from 5 to 13 points in Pennsylvania. Now, remember last week in the debate on Thursday, Biden told us that he was going to begin the process, if elected president, of replacing, is that the word he used? Replacing, transitioning. Thank you, Oz. Look at Oz over there paying attention. Transitioning from oil to something else. Who knows? Who knows what will be powered by? Biden says it's going to be something other than oil. He's transitioning from that. Pennsylvania says, wait a minute. Turns out that a lot of folks here depend upon that. Western Pennsylvania has some places that are people live off of oil. This is how they have jobs and that sort of thing. Biden's going to replace that, transition from that. I'm not sure what that means exactly. So that's an important factor on the eve of this election. But suddenly, the New York Times seems to realize that Pennsylvania actually will cast electoral votes for president, along with 49 other states and the District of Columbia, instead of simply giving this to the one who wins the national popular vote, which, folks, could still be Trump. That's not the traditional, the narrative or what most people believe. And again, I'm not predicting it, but he certainly still could win the popular vote, especially if people in groups that do not typically vote for Republicans vote, in a much higher percentage. For example, in the black vote, folks, I saw polling numbers late last week. I think I saw them over the weekend that had approval rating of Trump by black Americans. One of the days showed 46%. Now, that's not necessarily translating into a vote, but 46% of black voters approve of Trump. If Trump was to even get a third of that, 15% of the black vote, that is bad news for Biden. If Trump gets to 20% or into the low 20s, there's no way that Biden can win this election. This is bad news for Joe Biden. There's a lot of bad news for Biden out there that seems to be ignored by the media. It might be hinted at a little bit as we get closer to this election, but the bottom line is they're still largely pretending that Joe Biden has this in the bag. Folks, if it's so bad, you think about back in 2016, people were utterly shocked when Trump beat Hillary Clinton. Remember this? Again, people going to work that morning, putting bottles of champagne in the trunk of the car, preparing to go and celebrate that evening the coronation of Hillary Rodham Clinton, the first female president in American history. Although I'm not sure we can say that, because do we know how all of the other presidents identified? I don't know that there's ever been a comprehensive study done on that. But nonetheless, that's how they went to work that morning, and they were shocked, and they were dismayed, and they were screaming at the universe. They were in tears. They were beginning the process of requesting service dogs and Play-Doh and coloring books to cope with this. The professors and universities all around the fruited plain were canceling courses the next day, the next week, to help students cope with this traumatic experience. Imagine what it's going to be like, given how unlikely the scenario was, the way the media's talked about this, of Trump winning this election if he pulls this out. Folks, this is going to makes 2016 look like they responded like adults. This is going to be worse by magnitudes. This is going to be dramatically worse, and worse in ways that are concerning, because now we're in an era where violence has largely been accepted. Violence against those that you disagree with. I don't know if you've seen that the Jewish group that was in favor of Trump, that had a rally for Trump in New York City yesterday, folks assaulted there by the ever-loving left. We're in tense times, folks. And if this doesn't go in Biden's direction, the powder keg is going to begin to go pop, pop, pop all around this country in big cities. It's intentional in some instances. It is predictable in some instances. It has been condoned in some instances by people who are in positions of power, by mayors. Look in Portland, Oregon. Look in Chaz. Remember that, the great civilization of Chaz that lasted about 300 hours. All of these places have condoned this behavior. Have turned the other cheek, if you will, have turned a blind eye to what's going on in their particular cities, letting folks basically destroy the place. And if Trump wins it, Biden loses. They're going to lose whatever's left of their ever-loving minds. I have to take a break. Long in this segment, lots more to get to, including Trump's soundbite with Leslie Stahl, Kamala Harris laughing hysterically when asked if she's a socialist. So, got lots to get to. Quick timeout is in order. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Welcome back. Now, you could say that the media is starting to realize, or at least wanting its readers or audience to realize, that this election isn't simply who gets the more, will not be determined simply by who has more total votes, popular votes in this country. New York Times has awakened to the fact that the election will be decided by an electoral college and maybe the electoral vote of the state of Pennsylvania, quite possibly, which is an amazing shift given they've seen Biden be up 10, 14 points, and they've kind of acted like this was a foregone conclusion for some time. So even though that's going on, it doesn't mean that they're still not trying everything within their power to prevent that from being the outcome, because they certainly are wanting that to be the outcome. And so that leads me to what the media, this little back and forth between President Trump and Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes here. It aired last night. But the interview took place last week. You may have seen Trump hinting at this, Trump talking about how he was releasing interview and that sort of thing. But here's the exchange. I want you to listen to this. The willing ignorance here on the part of Leslie Stahl. I call these folks professional deceivers. And I think that's how these folks should be viewed. These folks are not interested in uncovering truth so that you, the American voter, can know information about the candidates or the issues that's relevant, and then you make the decision. They want you to make a certain decision. That decision they want you to make is to vote for Joe Biden, or to vote against Donald Trump is really the better way of saying it. They're not excited about Biden. not excited about Biden. We've talked about this extensively on here. They don't really want you. They know that they can't really motivate you to go to the polls and cast a ballot for Biden. But what they do know, what they do believe, is they can stir up enough hatred, enough just bad will towards President Trump. In fact, they've invested for the past 4 years in creating this. They know that they can send you, well, they believe they can anyway, send us, generally speaking, not you specifically, because you're probably not interested in voting for Joe Biden. But nonetheless, they think that they can send Americans to the polls with enough hatred for President Donald Trump in their heart to where they will push the button for virtually any other name on that ticket. And so I want you to listen to this exchange really quickly before we got to go to a break. This is Trump telling Leslie Stahl, I wish you would interview Biden the way that you interviewed me. And I just want you to hear how this conversation goes, the back and forth. The complete, utter ignorance and the intentional ignorance of Leslie Stahl here is mind-boggling. So these are the people who are, again, it's an act, it's a performance, it's a play. This is something designed to generate a certain outcome. And again, that outcome is for those watching to decide to vote for Biden instead of President Trump. Here's the exchange.
I wish you would interview Joe Biden like you interview me. It would be so good. You know what?
You like this, I thought. I thought you liked
I don't mind it. But when I watch him walk out of a store, and he's walking with an ice cream, and the question the media asks him, what kind of ice cream, what flavor ice cream do you have? And he's in the midst of a scandal.
He's not.
And he's taking...
He's
of course
not.
he is,
No,
Leslie.
come on.
Of course he is. It's the biggest, second biggest scandal.
So,
the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign,
there's
Leslie.
no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't
No,
verify.
you won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't
Look, let
put
me tell
on
you.
things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally
that.
verified.
No.
Absolutely.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much
No.
further than that,
No.
and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, and you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
As a matter of fact, I don't know that.
Okay.
She doesn't know that. Of course she doesn't know that. That's not her job to know that. Her job is to professionally deceive you. That's her job. And part of being a professional deceiver is to not know the truth, because then I certainly can't be accountable to present that truth to you. What is she talking about? Of course, there is literally, hear me say this, there is zero evidence that suggests that what happened by the Obama administration and their FISA warrant against Carter Page in the Trump campaign, that is absolutely unequivocally spying. FISA, the warrant that they applied for, folks, I've said this before, I'll say it again, stands for Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. They got a surveillance warrant. Look up the word. I challenge you today to go to thesaurus.com or dictionary.com, and you will find at some point in your search, maybe the very first one that you pull up, that there is a synonym for the word surveillance. You know what it is? Spying. That's what it means. It means to spy. The question is not whether or not Obama's administration spied on the Trump campaign, because that is absolutely, positively, 100% the case. There is no denying that. The question that could be asked, in fairness, is whether or not the spying was legally justifiable in accordance with the law. But to say they did not spy, and to say that there's no evidence of that, shows that she is unqualified, 100% unqualified to be a journalist. 100%. She's not a journalist. She's a professional deceiver. You may have also noticed in that exchange, she started to say there is no evidence of that, but she caught herself. She said there's no, what'd she say, real evidence. There's no real evidence of that. What do you mean there's no real evidence? You stopped yourself when you were starting to say evidence, because you know there's evidence. In fact, you know that the truth demands that you accept that they got the FISA warrant, a surveillance warrant, because they wanted to spy. That is what that is. You know that. I know that. You're going to pretend like you don't know that. Anyway, silly stuff we've got to put up with. I've got to take a time out. A lot more to get to. Let's get to Kamala next. Kamala, in her interview, was asked by Nora O'Donnell if she brought a socialist or progressive viewpoint to the Biden ticket. And she laughed. She just laughed. So we'll play that when we get back. Quick timeout is in order here. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. Don't panic, folks. We'll be right back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and trained products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a train. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout Central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
Hi, I'm Daniel Elliott, chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Welcome back. I do want to also mention that Amy Coney Barrett's final confirmation vote appears to be slated for later this evening, sometime Monday evening. It appears that, again, unless there's some sort of a last-minute, just unforeseen set of circumstances, it appears that she will be confirmed to the high court with 52 votes. That would include Mitt Romney. That would include Lisa Murkowski. That would not include, the only Republican that would not include is Susan Collins, who, of course, is running for re-election in the state of Maine. That's a highly contested election. She may, in fact, lose her seat. So she's trying to, appeal to the, I guess you could say, the moderate voters in her home state. So that being said, I want to shift over to another interview that was conducted on CBS. Norah O'Donnell interviewing Senator Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's VP pick. Actually, the front runner, the title name on the Harris-Biden ticket. She is, in her mind and in the minds of many people, actually the presidential nominee, just pretending as though she's vice president, because Joe Biden is, of course, well, there's a lot going on there, but many folks don't expect Joe Biden, many as in more than half, most Americans don't expect Joe Biden to serve an entire 4-year term. So that would make Kamala Harris, at some point, God forbid Biden is elected, but that would make her president of the United States. And she's not been really vetted yet, folks. We don't really know that much about her. Media is not too interested in her other than to tell us that she is black and a female, and that's really all we need to know in today's superficial world of politics. So, that being said, I want you to hear this little exchange. Norah O'Donnell asked Kamala Harris if she brings a progressive or socialist viewpoint to the agenda, to God forbid, to the Harris-Biden ticket. Does she bring a progressive or socialist viewpoint to that ticket? Listen to this conversation.
But I will do, and I promise you this, and this is what Joe wants me to do. This was part of our deal. I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
Here we go.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America.
There we
Who
go.
was also a prosecutor,
Don't
who
answer
also
the
has a
question.
mother who arrived here at the age of 19 from India, who also, likes hip hop. Like, what do you want to know?
Well, what we want to know was what the question asked. Do you bring a socialist or a progressive perspective to the Biden ticket? Now, I'm not sure that Biden really needs that much of a perspective brought to his ticket as it stands. In fact, Biden's granddaughter is on record telling us that she agrees, Biden will govern, if he is elected, like a radical leftist. Basically, Biden is Bernie in her mind. Kamala won't even admit that. She laughs it off. She's been practicing this response. And look, to many folks, that's enough. That's enough right there. She did say no, technically. No, but look at it's fascinating to me. Whatever your personal viewpoints on, a particular candidate is, her answer is fascinating to me in the sense that what she wants you to believe this election is about. This is about wanting the voter to pick her because we want a perspective of a person who has a certain genetic makeup, and she completely glosses over the important part, which is the ideological makeup. As I've said on here before, I think it's great that America's to the point where we can vote for a black president. that would not have always happened in this country, and that is a great place to be. However, we should never, and hear me say this, never vote for someone simply because of their race, ethnicity, gender, etc. We should elect someone, vote for someone because of the ideas that they want to implement, the ideas that they want to advance, the way in which they will govern. Ideas. America, folks, is an idea. America isn't an idea that only applies to white people or to black people or to Asians or to take your pick, Hispanics. It applies to all people because, folks, the ideology, the idea upon which, or the ideas upon which America was founded, upon which America was predicated, are rooted in truth, are rooted in a proper understanding of human nature, a proper understanding of how we were created by God to live. That is why it works. It works for all people. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone is going to have no problems or struggles. That's called life. But the idea of America is not based upon any race or ethnicity or any of those things. That's why it matters. That's why it matters that we pick individuals to be our president, to be our leaders. I don't like the word leaders, our politicians, our policymakers, those who run our government. We pick individuals who have the right ideas, which are the American ideas, which, by the way, would not be the progressive and the socialist ideas. Those, in fact, would be the antithesis of the American ideals set forth in this nation. But instead of telling us what her ideas are predicated upon, instead of telling us the foundation of her ideology, she goes back to things that people have a personal attachment to. And I understand, I do, especially with the history of this country, how that story is appealing to people. 19-year-old mother moving in from India, with basically nothing, starting over from scratch or what have you. That's Kamala's mom, and now she's running for vice president. There's something really amazing about that story. But there's also something very troubling if that's what you go to. There's something very troubling, instead of telling us what you believe and why you believe it, if you only want to talk about these things, they get people emotionally invested. I've got no problem with the story in general. I just need to know, what are the ideas? What are they? They're not socialists. They're not. What are they? Kamala, how would you define them? Because they do not certainly go in line with what I believe about this country. So, long in this segment. Got to take a break. You're listening here to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing, and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick.
Dial the number, spell the words.
For on time.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
Are you one of the growing number of Hoosiers who are concerned about higher taxes, increased spending, and massive debt? So am I. I'm Donald Rainwater, the Libertarian candidate for governor of the state of Indiana. I believe that all Hoosier businesses provide the necessities of life to their owners and employees, and that all Hoosiers are essential. As your governor, I will safeguard your rights to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness as defined by you, not the government. To learn more, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. We need better government, not bigger government. My name's Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message. Paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Welcome back. So, again, tonight, Amy Coney Barrett is slated to be confirmed as Supreme Court Justice, Associate Supreme Court Justice of the United States. It appears, based upon what we've heard, that she does have the votes. Now, there was a procedural vote yesterday. She received 51 of those procedural votes. One of those, so there were all Democrats voted no, plus Susan Collins from Maine, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. But Lisa Murkowski voted no. Her position is this. Her position is what her stated position is anyway. She doesn't think that this should happen this close to an election. However, she also believes that Amy Coney Barrett is completely qualified. So she voted no yesterday. Because on the procedural process, which leads us to this final confirmation vote. Had that not passed yesterday, we wouldn't have a confirmation vote. So she voted no, she tells us. Voted no yesterday because she didn't think that we should be pushing for a Supreme Court nominee this close to an election, or you could obviously say during an election because of early voting. She said instead she would have preferred to wait. However, Amy Coney Barrett is completely 100% qualified, as she is, by the way. She is completely 100% qualified. She is as qualified as anyone else. And by the way, more qualified than some of those folks we've seen nominated to the Supreme Court by leftist presidents. But she is as qualified as anyone else, and even more qualified than many. So this, it appears, she's going to vote yes tonight, giving Republicans 52 votes, giving Amy Coney Barrett 52 votes. And it appears, again, I'm always hesitant because I put nothing past the left, that this is going to be the case tonight. 52 votes confirming Amy Coney Barrett, and she will be on the Supreme Court. She will be on the Supreme Court, and suddenly all of these cases that may make their way to the Supreme Court pertaining to this election, she may actually have a voice in determining the legality and the constitutionality of all these things. So That is a good thing. I've got to take a break. You're listening to Conservative, Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 down, $300
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. All right, folks, that's unfortunately all of the time that we have today. But I will tell you this, we've got some exciting things coming up here in the not too distant future that I want to, that I'll be telling you about here in very short order. So that's good. So more of this program available to you is always, of course, a good thing, as you well know. But it's all the time that we have today. Lots of stuff to get to. I mean, there's lots of stuff I didn't get to today that I wish I could have gotten to. But nonetheless, we're in overdrive here as we move towards this election, which is now just a week away. So anyway, if you haven't voted, get out there and do that. Encourage your friends to do the same. Vote Trump 2020. I've got to go. Have a great day. SDG. See you soon.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Hi, I'm Daniel Elliott, Chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. We need your vote down the ballot for conservatives like Indiana Senator Rod Bray from District 37 and Morgan County Coroner Mike Ellis. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.